Happy New Year, everyone. It's a new year. Today is the first day of 2023, and John and I are wishing you all a prosperous year.
Healthy and happy.
Like us.
Well, prosperous is important, but if without the health part, it doesn't mean anything.
Thank you for watching us again. We are, how can you say that? Podcast, segment 7, and the second part of Judgements
and Stereotypes. Yes.
And it's so massive that we don't want to bore you to death with the topic. So we are going to take a break from it next week and bring you something else. But tonight we're going to continue discussions and sharing experiences where we've both experienced judgments, stereotypes, or where we have judged or stereotyped someone.
Which is basically like every day or every minute of the day. So yes, welcome back and thank you for listening. For those of you that weren't bored to death on the first one, we're back for number 2, final part 2 of Judgments and Stereotypes. By the way, before we get started, I have to tell you I'm actually really quite pleased to be in the studio this evening because I did need to get away from my home today. It was a little bit of an incident which I didn't share with you before, but I'm going to share with you now. Do you want to hear? Or are you not interested at all?
It doesn't seem as though I have a choice, so go for it.
Okay. So there's a very important person in my life that recently was retiring. And I thought it would be nice to bring this person bought this large heart-shaped box of chocolates. Lind chocolates. You familiar with that? Or you only know like really high-end chocolate? Is that considered really high-end, or is that just middle of the road garbage?
To each his own, John.
Okay, so it's more like Hershey's, just regular shit.
I don't like American chocolate. Sorry. Oh. I'm American, but I don't enjoy American chocolate. Sorry. Okay. Have a European.
On behalf of Hershey's, I apologize sincerely. Anyway. So this big box, heart-shaped box of Lind chocolates, beautiful assortment in there, and I buy it, I come home, I put it on my counter, and I'm just taking my stuff off because I just got home. And my wife, whose name is Karen, in case you don't know, comes downstairs, looks at this big heart-shaped box of chocolates, looks at me, smiles, and is virtually giddy that I brought her home this box of chocolates. Now, the problem is I didn't bring her home this box of chocolates. I brought the box home, but it was meant for someone else. So the real problem with this is I needed it gift wrapped also, and Karen does all the gift wrapping for me. So now the moment freezes in time. I have to break the news to her that this box of chocolate is not for her, and I also need her to wrap it for me.
Why couldn't you buy 2? Why could you buy 1 for her and 1
Any sane, normal husband would have done that. Yes. And I'm going to tell you why. That's so embarrassing. I had 40% off coupon. For one single item.
He is Jewish, guys. What can we say?
So any normal guy would have been like, oh, of course the chocolate's for you. Yes, enjoy. I love you. You're great. But instead I looked at her and go, it's not for you, but I do need it wrapped, if you don't mind. It was so bad. It was as if, it reminded me of Jesus going to the crucifixion, where they made him haul his own cross to the crucifixion. Like he has to do all the dirty work and bring his own cross to this thing where they're going to hang him and kill him. That's how I felt, that I'm making Karen wrap these chocolates that she thought were for her, realized not only for her, but to add insult to injury, she actually had to wrap them for someone else. So that didn't go over so well in my house. Like I said, when I come into another 40% off coupon, I'll probably make good on it. But even with the anger, I couldn't do it without the coupon. It's bad, right?
Thousands did this chocolate cost you that you couldn't pick up a box of Karen?
Okay, let's just move on. I made my point.
No, you haven't. Anyway, can I interject and tell the viewers that you are a scam artist?
Sure. In what regard?
John is a scam artist.
I was totally upfront with her.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, there's more. Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Please.
Yes.
Remember last week when he called his mother and made a big hoopla about the waffles? And he said she had to give him 4 extras for a friend. I have not seen one waffle.
I have them. I have them at home in my freezer.
And John had no intention until this very minute of giving me the waffles.
Wrong.
I've seen John twice since the last podcast. And since he has picked up the waffles and he's never mentioned them to me. And tonight, because I'm calling him out for using me to get 4 extra waffles, now he's going to give them to me.
Okay, first of all,
is not cool.
Okay, first of all, there was no, they were not designated for you. I got a certain number of them, and I did plan on giving you 4 of them. They're in my freezer at the house. I didn't bring them to the studio. You don't have like a toaster or anything in here, but I will bring them to you. We'll make up a time where I'll meet you, and I will bring you the waffles. And by the way, we're having another incident in my house. My mother makes something else that is absolutely fantastic. She makes these banana muffins. Chocolate chip banana muffins, which are absolutely fantastic. We always also have those in reserve. Those have run out, and I need to replenish that stock also. So I may actually have to call my mother in regard to the banana muffins also. But I got some very bad blowback. I got some very bad blowback about that call to my mother. Now, those that know me and know my relationship totally laughed, no problem. It's the ones that don't that were so horrified, including you.
Of course.
So I think if I call my mother again about the banana muffins, I'm going to show you my nice side, and I'm going to just do it in a whole different way.
In other words, you'll do what you do well. You'll just be a hypocrite.
Yes.
That takes no effort with John, people. I'm telling you.
Now, the origins of the banana muffins, just so you know, being, as you know, because we talk about it all the time, being a cheap Jew, the reason banana muffins come into play is because the banana muffins get made because there are extra bananas that are starting to go brown, and we don't want to waste them. So this is like a mechanism to produce something out of the bananas before they would go into waste. But there is one very disturbing aspect that I will have to talk to my mother about that I never confronted her on. Most people will take, let's say, muffins or waffles, whatever, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in a container or something like that. You know what my mother does?
No.
She puts it in a plate, and then she puts this is so disturbing to even say. She puts disposable shower caps over the food.
Has it been used?
No, it hasn't been used. Because it's like what am I supposed to be doing? With eating them in the bathroom or something, eating them underwater? Like, well, who covers food with shower caps?
Listen, it's providing the function that she needs it for.
People use aluminum foil or a Ziploc bag or a plastic wrap or something. What kind of a disturbing individual uses plastic?
She doesn't want to spend money to buy plastic specifically.
It's a shower cap. It's more expensive than the plastic roll.
No, it depends.
It doesn't even make any sense.
Cheap shower caps, depending on where you.
Is it wrong that we actually use them as shower caps when the food is gone?
As long as you guys don't cover your heads with it before you cover the food.
No. But I think after I shower, sometimes I have chocolate chips in my head. So I'm gonna have to later on. We'll call my mother about that to see if she's around, and we'll deal with that. Anyway, so let's get back to the and I apologize about my voice. I'm getting over an illness I had the other day. A lot of chest congestion and nasal congestion. So if I all of a sudden break out in some smoker's cough, it's not for any reason other than I'm towards the tail end of recovering. So our topic was judgments and stereotypes, and there was a very disturbing story that a friend of mine told me the other day, which I don't know how closely this is to judgments and stereotypes, but it kind of ties in. Do you have any interest in hearing this, or do you have your own agenda?
No. Go ahead, tell the story.
Okay. So a friend of mine, and I actually heard this a while ago, but it just was reminded to me by a friend that listened to our last podcast that said, "Hey, why didn't you bring that up?" So I figure I'm going to bring it up. So I had a very good friend. It used to be a neighbor before I moved. And he has a daughter who was very, very bright that was applying to college. And I don't remember which college it was. It was Ivy League school. Maybe it was Columbia. I don't remember which one. And she had a friend who applied also. And the friend had actually much better grades than she did. And the friend did not get in. So what she decided to do, very creative, is she has a grandmother that is from, I think it's Argentina. They speak Spanish in Argentina?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I think it was Argentina. They speak Spanish. So she applied with her grades that were not as good as her friend, but instead of applying under race that she was white, she checked Hispanic. because she has Argentine blood and Spanish genes or whatever. You know, she got in based on the fact that she applied as Hispanic.
Yeah, because they allow certain
affirmative action. And that's what I want to talk about. Is that what you're going to just say?
John, carry on.
No, go ahead. Tell me what you're going to say. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is completely different. I have a point I would like to make that I think it's important, especially for women, about judgments and stereotypes. And John, when I first met you and I shared certain things I had done in my life, right before we started the show, we had this discussion, and you said to me that some people would think that I was conceited. Because
you're really bringing this up.
No,
oh my god!
Because it's a
oh, my smoker's cough. I think I may need an ambulance.
It's a huge judgment and a huge stereotype, and I want to address it.
Go ahead.
And let me tell you,
the floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. I feel that people are taught not to speak well of themselves or not to mention what they've accomplished in their lives. And I think that is wrong, because I know from my perspective, I have pretty much done things that most people will say you can't do. And also, I've had to find my own way in this life and do everything on my own by working hard. And I've worked until 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning. So I am very proud of what I have accomplished. And I believe that it's okay for people to talk about when they've worked hard for something and gotten a positive result. And society makes people like this feel bad. Now, I do understand that there are people who are narcissistic and all day long they sit and toot their horns about what they've done. But I am not narcissistic. I'm just very proud of what I have accomplished, because I've done it by myself, like I said, and I've worked really hard to achieve the goals I have, and I speak of it to encourage other people. It's from a place of encouragement and not a place of showing off.
Because I don't know, maybe it's not wrong. Maybe you're right. Okay, you want to be right?
I don't care about being right.
This is the way I look at it.
Another person.
You know what people like?
Has worked as hard as I have.
This is what people like. A lot of people have worked hard. You're not the only person that worked hard. Okay, I worked hard also. Okay, and I've accomplished a lot of good things also, but I just don't go wearing those accomplishments on my shirt. I get a T-shirt that says I made, like, that's just not what I do.
I don't do that either.
Those are things that, like, you can ease out over the course of a relationship with the things that you've done, but the initial interaction with people should be one of a little bit more low-key and modesty. And that's not anything negative against anything that you did. It's the way people will perceive you when you come from different perspectives. If you come out flashing your accomplishments in front of people,
I've never done that, and
like a flash, you're an accomplishment flasher. You know, like someone opens a raincoat, like a flasher opens a raincoat and just shows they're naked underneath.
I have shared my accomplishments with you over a period of us getting to know each other.
It was like within the first hour. The first hour.
No one.
You were giving me your resume already after the first hour. Look what I've done. Do you have any idea what I did with my life? How famous I am? How important I am in the world? Do you understand? And I was like, no, I don't.
Okay, for the record, no one who knows me will believe this. Okay?
They will all believe me. Just nobody ever wanted to tell you. I am finally telling you. I'm the only person in your life that is willing to be honest with you and tell you the truth.
Okay. All right, John.
Anyways.
Are you happy?
Yes. How was your New Year's Eve? How was your Christmas?
You are crazy. I believe it. And you know, I think John's jealous because I've done some very gutsy things that he doesn't have.
You're still talking about it.
Yes, I am.
Put your resume on your website. Just put it up there. Everyone should know how wonderful and amazing you are. No, okay. So the truth of the matter is, you have accomplished a lot of good things, and you have done some incredible things. You have. I'm not saying you haven't. You have. But so have I, and I haven't told you about most of them.
Well, why didn't you tell us?
I'm about to tell you about one right now. You want to hear one right now? Okay. Now you mentioned, I was not really going to mention this, but you mentioned once before or twice before, or maybe I did mention it, that I do volunteer as an auxiliary police officer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's an unpaid position, volunteer. I get nothing for it. Zero compensation.
Volunteer means. Keep going, Josh.
Asshole. You can't help but be an asshole, right?
Everyone listening knows what a volunteer is, right? So John, keep
You're right. I
going.
was making a judgment that people don't actually know. You're right. I apologize.
Yes,
I apologize.
yes. Stick to the topic.
I am. So anyway, so in regard to, I was out on patrol. One of the things that we do is we patrol the neighborhood in our police cars and police uniform and all that stuff. So I'm driving down one of the main streets, and all of a sudden I see a drunk guy in the middle of the street. Like literally in the middle of the street, stammering, and this is at like probably 9 o'clock at night. It's pitch black out. He's wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, black pants, and he's stumbling all in the middle of the street. Now I'm driving in the middle. There's a busy street, not a little side street. So I turn my police lights on. The guy doesn't even practically notice. He's blasted. This is a true story, I'm telling you. I don't make things up. I have a witness.
You don't make things.
No, I don't. This is true. I swear to you. So I turn the lights on, and the thing with police lights, especially when you're inebriated, is you get sucked in by the lights. That's why a lot of times when a police car has pulled someone over on the side of the road and the lights are on, a lot of time a drunk driver will ram into their car. That's because for some reason your eyes are attracted to the lights when you're under the influence and you kind of get pulled in. That's true. Anyway, so I pull up alongside of him. I start screaming at him to get on the side of the road, which he does. And then 10 seconds later, he's back in the middle of the road. So I call it in and to, police headquarters. And it took literally, I would say, close to 20 minutes for the regular officers to respond. And I was following behind him literally for 20 minutes, making sure he stayed on side. Every time he stepped into the street, I'd blast the horn, turn the sirens on, get him back onto the side of the road. Anyway, long story short, 20 minutes later, I followed him probably for 1.5 miles. I waited till the regular officer pulled up, told him what's going on. Long story short, the guy was totally out of his mind, had to be taken to the hospital. They called an ambulance, brought him to the hospital, and we got him off the road. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that he would have been hit and killed by a car had I not gotten him off the road. What was the point of this? We were going somewhere with this.
I can see your wings and your halo. Everyone.
Accomplishments, right. Exactly. As soon as he said halo. As soon as he said halo, yes, correct. Am I glowing? Do you notice?
Even though you hear this person who sounds obnoxious and selfish, he does have a soft side. I must say I've noticed that.
Well, I will tell you that I went home feeling that I actually saved someone's life. And I felt really, really good about it. And we have I deleted it already, but I did post it on our internal police chat that we have. All the details of the event, what happened.
See how we had to put in everyone's face to save someone's life?
There was a reason.
There isn't a reason when I've shared what I've accomplished.
No, do you want to hear the reason why? Because in his inebriated state, he was leaning on the police car and cracked the mirror off the car. So in coming back to the precinct with the damaged car, I had to give a justification for why. I probably wouldn't have said anything, but being that I had to explain the damage. No, you're right. I would have completely told everyone, right? Of my heroics.
Yes, that's why you look at me that way. You see, you think I'm you.
I was almost happy he broke the mirror, so I had like a trophy to come back. Look, but
this mirror is broken because I am a hero.
Not because I'm an idiot, but because I saved someone's life.
Yes, John.
I may actually be up for an award for it, but
I think
that's a separate conversation.
No, he's probably preparing a medal for you right now.
By the way, I figured out how to solve all crime. All crime taken care of. No, this is not a joke. And we were talking about the police thing. It just reminded me. I swear to you. You want to hear this stroke of brilliance? And I am not joking. Okay. You know how? And I thought, remember those 4 people that were stabbed and killed in Iowa or somewhere, wherever it was, Iowa.
The kids who were killed in
the college ones. Where was that?
Yes, I think it was Idaho.
Something with an I.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and they just located the guy and arrested someone, a suspect. I mean, we don't know if it was really him based on DNA.
Yes, they said a DNA.
What do you think of this idea? And I'm dead serious. Every baby born in this country, they swab the DNA right away, put it in a database. You will have no more crime.
They're doing that already, though? I think they are.
In the United States?
I think so. I check it out.
If they fucking took my idea and they instituted it already without giving me any credit, I swear to God, I'm going to be really pissed off. That was a stroke of brilliance. They probably do it in China or communist countries. But the truth of the matter is, think about it. They'll have DNA from every person born in this country, and any crime committed that leaves any sort of DNA, they will instantaneously be able to locate that individual. It will eliminate almost all crime, because who's going to commit a crime knowing they get caught that fast? Is that not brilliant?
It is beyond brilliance. I wonder why no one thought of it before now, John.
Because it's probably illegal, and it's probably against everything living in a democracy.
Yes, because I think if it was that easy to do that, John.
It's so easy.
Yes, but don't you think wait, do you really think no one has thought of this before?
I have no idea. Why haven't they done it?
Your DNA, because maybe they can't just do that. We can find out. Why?
Yeah.
You want people running around with your DNA?
Well, when a baby's born, on the birth certificate, they have like a footprint and a fingerprint, right? So why can't they have DNA?
So you want them to poke the baby and take the baby's blood?
They swab a cheek or whatever.
Well, I don't know why, but I'm sure there's a good
All right, I expect you to get me a good answer on that and get back to me. I'm crossing it off my list and considering that now in your hands to get back to me and report back to me as to why that's an issue. And
when you wake up from this nightmare, where would you be?
Smoker's smoke again.
On the floor.
I don't know, but I thought that was the answer to solving all crime.
I'm sure, John, that there is a reason why it's not being done, because I had read or heard talk of it before. I have, really? Yes. I've come from the Silicon Valley. Don't forget.
You don't need Silicon Valley to swap someone's cheek with a Q-tip. It's like 1800s technology.
Ideas are born there, but I've heard of it. Someone's mentioned it before. And I can't remember why it wasn't.
Well, if you go and you swab every baby that's born in this country and every immigrant that comes into the country, I think you really now have a database of every individual, and I don't see how anyone could get away with any crime anymore.
Sure, that.
I mean, maybe shoplifting.
Why didn't you send this idea to someone?
I have a lot of these good ideas. I don't share them with anybody in terms of like being able to implement them. I like to throw them out there, and hopefully someone else hears it and can run with the idea and implement it. I just don't have the time or patience to implement it or take it any further other than ranting about it and throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to mention. Judgments, in regard to judgments and stereotypes. This has been bothering me for a really long time. President Obama. What's President Obama known for?
I would prefer if we don't go down the political avenue. But
it's not politics.
Well, he was a politician. Okay?
What is he known for? Being the first what?
Black president.
He's not.
Who was the first Black president?
His mother was white.
His father was Black.
Right. So why does the Black win over the white? Why doesn't the white win over the Black?
Because
he's half.
Because he looked more Black than he looked white.
Doesn't matter what he looked like. He was not the first Black president. He was the first half Black president. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, for the record, the people who keep the records in the world, can you please make the correction? John,
it's been bothering me.
Dead. That we've been calling a half Black president a Black president.
Well, because I'll tell you why.
You called me a Black woman one night.
Well, you said you had Black genes in you.
Yeah, so why is it okay then that I'm Black if I'm just part
Black? No, I didn't mean that.
You are a hypocrite all around. Because I am Black because I have Black blood, but Obama can be Black because he has a white mother.
Well, I'm going to tell you why it's been bothering me.
White father. So what's your point?
Well, I don't have a point, but I'm going to bring up why I'm bringing this up. No, I said on the last podcast.
You told me that.
No, I don't like it. I mentioned on the last podcast that the United States right now is the least racist it's ever been in history.
You said that.
I did say that, but and the reason why was because if you think about, like, let's say in recent history, the 1960s, let's say, where they had colored water fountains and colored bathrooms and Black and white people had to sit separately on buses. That's only like 40, 50 years ago, right? So think about how far we've come from that. So people still accuse this country of being racist, but that's why I just want to clarify why I made the statement that we are the least racist now as we've ever been in the history of our country. And I may have said, if I didn't say it, I was thinking if we even had a Black president. But I wanted to clarify that we actually have not had a fully Black president. We had a half Black president, or he could be known as a half white president also. So I would love to see a Black president. I'd actually love to see a Black woman president. I think that would be great. because I think that's when we can really solidify the fact that this country can put a lot of the racism and stereotypes and all that
But
behind
you're
them.
not stereotyping right now. You are actually trying to correct.
Oh, I was
the problem.
clarifying.
No. You are trying to correct the problem with the problem, because you're saying that he is a half black president,
Yes.
not a black, but that's a stereotype.
No, that's a fact.
Yes, but it's also a stereotype
How?
because
No, you're the stereotype because you said he looks black. So you stereotyped him, not me. You see, how are you going to get out of that one? Go ahead. The stage is all yours. Go.
You know,
Go ahead.
I don't even want to get out.
Do you want me to
of
have
it.
smoker's cough so you can just get distracted
No,
from that?
no. I'm not even going to try to get out of this
Good.
because I think that some of the things that you use as arguments, you're contradicting yourself, because maybe not in this conversation,
Yeah.
but previous conversations that we have had, you have said the complete opposite of what you're saying now.
Did I?
Yeah, there's
don't
no
think so.
consistency with you.
No,
It
what do we need
depends on the
consistency for?
day.
Consistency is boring.
Oh, but you're confusing me, much as the viewers, because I know you and they don't. They're like, what?
My sole purpose for existing is to confuse you. That's what I said. My whole sole purpose for existing is to confuse you.
I bet, but you can't, and you never will, because the difference between you and I is I fact check.
Oh, so you can fact check that Obama's mother's white.
Well, who doesn't know that?
I don't know. A lot of people that say we're the first black president may not be aware of that. So I think that's important to point out. I don't think that's so outrageous. It's fact. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because
like I'm crazy.
in the USA, historically, once you had black blood, they categorize you as black.
But why does the black overrule the white blood? Why is
black blood is dominant? It shows up. If you
how much you want to bet that if Obama was committed a crime, okay? How much you want to bet? Obama commits a crime, he gets caught. They reported on TV. Obama's a nobody. He's not president, not anything. He's a regular Joe Schmo citizen.
Everybody is somebody.
No. I mean, not famous. Not famous. That's what I mean.
This is a stereotype.
I mean, Joe Schmo.
Everybody is somebody. John.
John.
Yeah, that's your name when you're irritating me.
I know. The O gets dragged out.
There's nobody who's there. Every single person is significant in some way. Maybe you don't acknowledge their significance.
Twisting it again. This is what you do. You twist everything.
No.
I meant he wasn't famous. That's all I mean.
He will always be famous.
No, if he wasn't, and he was, and he. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Okay, let me make my point. Okay, I'm talking about Obama generically as Obama, not President Obama, not famous Obama, just Obama, regular person. His name is Obama. Okay, he commits a crime.
His name is Barack Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama. Yes. So Barack Hussein Obama commits a crime. He's a nobody. He's not famous. He's a regular Joe Schmo person. That's all I'm saying. He gets arrested, and they identify him. They're going to say they're not going to identify him as black. They're going to identify him as white. Because when it suits society, and yes, maybe there's a judgment and a stereotype, but that's what the show is about. When it suits society from the liberal media perspective, when there's a criminal, if they're black or African-American, they neglect to mention that. If they're white, that's the first thing that they say. And they also add in, oh, and he's also a Nazi. He's also a white supremacist. They love that. That's like giving the media red meat.
You know, John, I'm going to pick my arguments with you, and I am going to intelligently skip over this one because it will get ugly.
Go, get ugly. Go ahead.
No. I don't want to engage when it comes to certain topics with you.
I'm just pointing out observations.
No, it's a good observation, but you know, historically, and I remember when I was a young girl, my mother made me watch this movie, and it's called Imitation of Life.
Never heard of it.
And I always wondered why my mom wanted me to watch it. It was about a little girl whose mother was a housekeeper for a white family, and her dad was black, and her mother was the housekeeper who was black.
Wait, let me get this straight in my head. It's a family
movie and watch it. It's called Imitation of Life.
Imitation of Life. Let me write it down.
And it's a very old movie, but I watched it and I thought, what the heck is my mom trying to tell me? Okay. This girl had a white father and a black mother, and she was housekeeper to a white family, and so her daughter ended up growing up with this family and thought she was white.
Okay.
Now you could tell she had a mixture, that she had black in her, even though she didn't look black.
Right.
Right? Kind of like me. A lot of people don't always believe I have black blood.
There's no.
You know what they think I am all the time.
Yes, Asian, but when someone looks at you, there's no detection of anything African American or black in you.
So this is the point I'm trying to make. But sometimes you can tell a person has black blood. You don't know what the other thing is, but you can tell. So she was what?
I just thought of something.
What?
You could go undercover in like a white supremacist organization and feed the FBI information. No, because you could work for the black population undercover with your black genes in white supremacist organizations. But John, no one would know that you have black in you. They'd accept you as one of their own.
John, so here's the thing. I think I've told you this before. I know racial prejudice. I know judgments. I know stereotypes because I have had a lot of interactions with people who are clueless that I have black blood. And so I've been privy to what black people go through.
That's like being undercover. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you're in undercover.
And this is why it's irritating to me because I see it. I see it and I know it. What are you doing? Oh my God.
I love tea bags.
You are so.
I'm drinking tea. I always suck out the tea bags.
Do that.
Add it to the list of I've never seen before. There you go. Do you know what I do at home?
People just want to squeeze the tea bag and pull it out.
I suck in it. I suck on it like it's a lollipop. Do you know that I love the smell of tea so much that a lot of times when I'm in the kitchen, I'll take a box of tea and I will bury my nose in the tea bags and I just smell and take like deep breaths of the tea bags. And everyone in my family knows, like, oh, he's in the tea box again. I love the smell of tea.
If I come to your house never to drink your tea that you had your nose in. Anyway, back to the topic.
Okay. There's one more tea bag.
The topic is you feel that
tea bags are delicious.
Obama should not be referred to as the first black president because he had a white mother. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about genetics. Black and dark genes are supposed to be dominant.
Yeah.
Although it's not always true.
It didn't work in your case.
Well, in a lot of cases, I think in Obama's case, it didn't work either because he does not look like he has a white mother. He does look like a black guy.
He's pretty light. Yeah, he's light skinned, but yeah, he's yes.
Many pure African American people who are just light skinned, but they're totally black.
Yeah, I hear it.
So I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't see why history would have recorded him as the first black president if he didn't qualify.
Oh, I think because this country was just so desperate to like talk up a victory, like, I'm the president. Okay, here we go. Like, just cross it off the list. We're good. We're the first African American Supreme Court justice. Okay, off the list. Vice president. Okay, off the list. Get president off the list now. Okay, we're good.
Where do you find the time to sit around and dissect these situations?
This is what I do. What do you mean? I dissect situations. What else do I have to do?
So that you can judge and stereotype.
Yes, of course. But I'm not doing this is not in any sort of malicious way. This or racist way at all.
Well,
please don't misconstrue any of that.
Excuse me, John.
These are just observations.
May I interject?
Sure.
Correction. The topic we're discussing, it doesn't say negative judgments and negative stereotypes. Okay? Yeah. It's a general, it's an umbrella. So we're talking about all the different stereotypes, all the different types of judgment.
Like Irish people stereotyped as being drunks and drinking, right? That's
really?
A big one.
Oh, okay.
That's not anything you knew?
I've never heard it before.
You're so full of shit. God, this cough is fucking.
How about the stereotype that Jewish people are very cheap?
Yeah, we covered that one already. I know.
Miserly and suck tea bags dry.
So no, that's just me.
Penny out of the tea bag.
You think it was a money thing? No, it's a flavor thing. Seriously, when you suck on that tea bag, you're pulling out like the whole essence of the tea bag. That's like the most flavorful. That's the most flavorful bite. It's delicious. Try it sometimes.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because I don't want that much acid in my stomach, and tea can be quite acidic.
Oh, someone told me that could cause kidney stones. I have a friend who's a urologist. He said that too much tea can cause kidney stones.
And you know, when a man has kidney stones, it's not fun.
No, especially if to get a catheter and stuff like that. I would
blast it to the past, and I don't think you're gonna like it. So I don't know.
Okay, so if that's true, let's say China, Japan, a lot of the Asian countries, the big tea countries, do they have higher cases of?
I think they drink it as concentrated as I just saw you drink it. You put 2 tea bags.
I always double up on the tea bags. Yeah, double.
And excuse me, then you suck
You could
them.
throw up.
Yeah, then you suck them. You suck them dry.
You just look like you could throw up.
It's like there's nothing left there. It's like pieces of cardboard in a bag, in a sack. Because you sucked them so dry.
I did.
I swear I've never seen anyone do that.
I told you there's a lot of.
I understand. No judgments, no stereotypes.
Oh, let's talk about this huge revelation we just had before. I am so upset by what we had discussed before we came on air in the studio here. It was devastating to me. So I'm going to talk about, we're going to throw all HIPAA laws and regulations out the window right now. Can we talk about our medical issues? Okay. So we both have very similar rashes.
Can you believe it? I and he have the same thing.
One of the only things we have in common, a rash. Now, my rash developed well before I met you. Your rash developed, apparently, you said, when you came to New York.
Yeah, since I've been in New York.
Right. So we were originally attributing your rash to me as some sort of allergic reaction. But what we discovered through the process of elimination, because I had no idea you were doing this, you had no idea I was doing this. But in our minds, we were looking at these rashes and trying to figure out, when I went to the dermatologist, I said, what is, she goes, oh, you could use this cream, you could use that cream. I said, no. What is the root cause of this rash? I don't want to cover up the rash and just continue to use steroid creams. I want to know what the fuck is causing this so I can get rid of it. And she's like, well, we could do allergy testing, did all these things, did all
me the same exactly.
Okay, I walked around, I was on vacation, this is like a year ago, and on my back had like 150 stickers. I looked like an arts and crafts project of all these different allergy tests. And like, I couldn't even take every time I took a shower, it was like stickers falling off. It was really.
You're not supposed to shower with them.
Well, I did, because I shower. I'm a clean person. I felt like I was rolled through one of those glue things and everything just stuck to me.
Did they find anything?
Nothing. After like weeks of having the arts and crafts project on my back, they determined I'm allergic to absolutely nothing. So that did nothing. So I'm using the steroid cream, which it says on the steroid cream that it's going to eventually probably kill you and shut down your liver and your kidneys. But it's the only thing that's making these rashes go away. So through the process of elimination, I'm going through my head and I'm telling my wife, and I'm like, Karen, nothing changed in my routine. No food changed, no products changed, no different people in my life. I have no idea. I'm working in the same place. No idea what changed. And through a process of elimination, the other week I said to her, I'm like, the only thing I changed is I switched from regular milk to oat milk, which I love. Oat milk is the best, especially Oatly brand. Now, you had a similar rash, which you also couldn't figure out. And I loaned you some of my steroid cream to take care of that. Are we allowed to share prescriptions? Is that something wrong with that? Is that illegal?
Your prescription because I don't.
Was that illegal? Like, can I get in trouble for that?
Will it bother your Jewish consciences if I don't return it?
No, I just don't want to get arrested.
Jewish conscience.
I don't have to pay for a lawyer and
Okay. So here's my part of the story.
Go ahead.
I cannot use any dairy products, and I've tried coconut and almonds. I don't like the taste of it. I feel like it changes the entire flavor of my coffee.
You're talking about the milk.
Yeah, I'm not someone who likes flavored milk. I just like coffee to taste like coffee. I want to taste my beans, but I like something white in it so it doesn't look like.
Such a disturbing statement. I just want to taste my beans. I suck on tea bags and I'm crazy, and you just want to taste your beans.
Well,
what does it even mean?
What's coffee made of?
Ground up. They're not beans.
They're still beans grounded.
Would you take those coffee beans and throw them in a salad? No, they're ground up. You want to taste the essence of the coffee, not suck on the beans.
I didn't say I want to suck on. I said I want to taste my coffee bean when I drink.
All right, disregard that.
Just
edit out that last rage. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
So anyway, it turned out that there's something called oat milk, and that was the answer. I love it. I buy the extra creamy. I load my coffee up with it every morning. And I've been taking this in my coffee for a while. Now, I've been complaining that I'm breaking out in a rash, and the rash was getting worse.
And blaming me.
How is I blaming you?
You said it was your fault, my fault that you were getting the rash. I cause agita. I cause stress.
When did I say that?
Like every day.
Listen, half of what he says, you guys take with a grain of salt. I think you know what to believe and what not to believe by now. I think he's revealed himself and shown you his colors.
I am honest.
But if you're not sure, you can always get in touch with me and I'll clarify for you if you care enough. But
So mean to me.
turns out that it was getting really bad. I had it on my face, it was around my eyes, coming down my cheeks, and it was very around my neck. It was going down my torso.
So appealing.
No, it was really bad, and it was itching, and I was miserable.
But you know the visual people have from what you
Yes,
just
I'm trying
described?
to tell them what happened. So
Like you were a ghoul or something.
no, I was starting to look like that.
Oh, I didn't want to
And
tell
I
you. But you
was
were.
taking a lot of Benadryl and other antihistamines, but you can't take Benadryl during the day. So this started to get out of control. People started to see it. And then I started to realize it was worse in the mornings. And I thought, what have I introduced into my diet that I had not been using before that I could potentially be allergic to? First, I thought it was garlic.
You have garlic in the morning?
No, but I thought maybe it's in the evening and I'm getting the effects of it in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So then I pulled garlic out of my
You
diet.
should try that garlic recipe that I talked about on the first.
No, because I was suspicious that the garlic was doing it. So I haven't tried a recipe
You
as
could do-
yet.
But the one I read on one of the
Yes,
previous
I
ones.
tried.
By the way, I apologize. I have to give Amanda Solomon, a very close friend of mine. It was her recipe. She heard the podcast and she was annoyed that I didn't footnote her. So footnote on that garlic recipe. I don't remember what segment it was on, but go back and listen to that if you can. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So then I thought, well, could it be collagen powder? I put a scoop of that in my coffee every morning. So I thought, okay, you know what I'll do? I'll start with the oat milk because somebody had said oat milk is horrible for you. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, and they said it's poisonous. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to pull away the one that's been declared poisonous now, and I'll stop it. And I stopped the oat milk on Thursday morning, and I've been drinking black coffee, and my skin has cleared up.
Okay, but I have a problem. I still have 2 containers of oat milk left, and I'm.
My fridge that you're taking home. The fridge right there in the kitchen.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, where else would the fridge be? What does it mean in the kitchen?
Here in the office.
I understand, but where else would the fridge be other than in the kitchen?
You're confusing it with the fridge at my house. I brought it.
The hell would I know? It's at your house. I assume you have a refrigerator at your house too.
Here in the refrigerator here at the office at the.
So
studio.
as I'm done telling you about how the oat milk is causing my rash, you want to continue to perpetuate my rash by giving me more oat milk?
Wait, I thought people at your house use it. Doesn't Karen drink it? Don't the kids drink it?
I mean, only if they run out of milk. I'm the one obsessed with it.
Oh, I see. You had the same obsession I had. You need to stop copying me.
I had it long.
God, guys, he copies. I think he wants to be a girl.
This rash is getting better from the cream that you gave me before.
Yeah, because the doctor gave that to me. So anyway, if you're someone drinking oat milk and you have a rash on your body, you may want to stop it for a while and see if that could be the cause, because I'm pretty sure that was my problem.
I would rather chop my arm off than give up the oat milk.
Then keep drinking it, and pretty soon you'll look like Lazarus.
Well, no, it doesn't get much worse than this. It just, it's like.
No, mine got progressively worse. And the more you ingest and more it builds up in your body, the more you're going to react. Trust me.
Well, I'm going to deal with the effects for the time being until I can run through the last 2 containers that I have. I'm just going to tough it out because I will be going away on vacation. I will be going away on vacation, and let me mention that I'm leaving on January 10th, so we will be taking a short hiatus for about 2 weeks on doing podcasts.
Most likely. Get the better guy than you to fill in while you're gone, and when you come back, if my viewers like him more, then we'll just have to say goodbye to you.
You know what I'm gonna say to you right now? What Donald Trump said to Hillary Clinton? Such a nasty woman. Such a nasty woman. Why would you say something like that to me? What do you have a guest host? You gonna have a guest host instead of me? What if they're better than me? They're never gonna have me back.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I want you to think there's nobody better than me to do this with. So that way, anybody that you would consider doing this with, you would shoot them down right away. But no, they can't even.
This is
can't even hold the candle.
Beginning of the podcast, who was ridiculing me for being honest about my accomplishments. This is the same one.
No, I was telling you a show off. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a small hiatus, just for those two weeks or so, because I will be visiting my daughter overseas. Oh, and that's what I had to call my mother about. In order to get the banana muffins, I'm not gonna call her today. We'll call her another time, but I'm gonna call my mother about the banana muffins because I'm gonna tell her that my daughter Carly, who's in Israel, wants us to bring them to Israel, which is completely untrue. Carly doesn't even eat them, but I can never ask my parents for something under the guise that I want it. I always have to blame someone else.
Why do you enjoy torturing your mother?
I don't have a good reason for that. You make me sound like such a bad person.
You are the one telling people how you torture your mom.
We're gonna call her next time. I'm not gonna.
An ambulance heading off to the hospital while you were raiding.
Do you know?
Raiding her refrigerator.
Do you know a friend of mine, this guy David, who lives down the block from me? I forgot that he actually. My daughter saw me carrying the waffles from that incident, and he did also. And he listened to the last show, and he texted me. He's like, "I saw you carrying those waffles." I actually had two witnesses to that: my friend David and my daughter Courtney.
I'm sure your mother loves you, Jon.
I only tell the truth on these podcasts.
I'm sure your mother loves you. She and Karen both deserve crowns. Maybe I should order it for them.
Bejeweled crowns from Cartier, maybe. You're familiar with Cartier, aren't you?
Never heard of Cartier.
You never
Cartier,
did?
No.
No, never mind.
Anyway, we are out of time.
Oh, come on again.
Before we go, I know you listened to our ramblings. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully, even if if you're someone who has a rash and you're drinking oak, if this segment is going to help you to solve that.
Milk, not oak. Not eating trees.
Oak, did I say?
Oak. If you're eating oak, pine, birch, juniper, cedarwood, redwood, or any other tree, if you tend to gnaw on bark on a tree, for whatever reason, you think you're a woodpecker or something like that, please stop. It could be causing a rash. On the other hand, oat milk may also be, if that's what you'd like to pick up from that. Go ahead.
Yes, I mean, I would never have guessed it was the oat milk, and I was very sad when I found out that I can't drink it anymore because I do enjoy it in the mornings.
I'm devastated.
The rash is not worth.
It might be worth it. It might be worth it.
Why don't you try and find out? And tell
Well, I told you I have a container and a half left, and then I'm
okay. Keep drinking it and let me see how you do, and then maybe I'll try it again another time.
I feel like I have a disease or something. It's so terrible.
We thank you. You've been listening to How Can You Say That?
You got so much better at that.
The podcast where we are raw and authentic. And we thank you for listening. And we are looking forward to segment 8 sometime in the near future. And it might not be Jon, it might be the filler that I'm going to be producing it with while he is vacationing. Please write into me and let me know if you prefer him, because then he would be
May I repeat, such a nasty woman. Such a nasty woman.
And have a happy new year again, and we will see you next time.
Thank you again for joining us, and we will be back soon. Thank you. Bye.